welcome to Zee Commodity Capsule. Base metals are garnering all the spotlight they can. This time it's LME, copper, aluminium, zinc, which are hovering near their best level seen since late March. Now let's start with copper prices. The red metal is sitting on strong weekly gains as major producer Freeport said that its Grasberg mine in Indonesia will remain suspended amid attempts to rescue 7 missing workers. With this, copper futures on LME rose to near 6-month high, with prices hovering very close to $11,000 per ton mark. Same is the case with the US copper that's on COMEX. We saw that copper prices are hovering beyond $4.50 per pound in mid-September, which is the highest level in 6 weeks, as tightening global supply underpinned prices. Both the contracts were trading up between 2 to 3% so far this week. Grasberg mine is important because it produced more than 8 lakh tons of copper in the year 2024, which represents roughly 3.7% of the global mined copper output. Now let's come to LME aluminium. Now aluminium futures have edged above $2,700 a metric ton on LME amid threats to supply. 50% tariff rate on aluminium imports placed by US President Donald Trump drove the key Canadian producer to divert metal away from US. Meanwhile, Chinese output is due to slow on the country's annual limit of 45 million tons, which is capping supply growth for the world's largest producer. Similar is the case with zinc, which is hovering above $2,900 a metric ton on London Metal Exchange and trading close to its best level seen since 27th or 28th of March this year. The strength is coming amid softer dollar and capacity constraints in China. We have seen output in China could decline as Beijing pledged to reduce capacity in metal markets to combat the country's deflationary momentum. Oil prices have fallen, adding to big declines in the previous trading session as concerns about possible softening of US demand and broad oversupply offset worries about supply disruption from the conflict in Middle East and war in Ukraine. Brent crude prices fell below $66 a barrel. We saw that the US consumer prices in August increased by most in 7 months and a surge in first-time applications of unemployment aid last week. But having said so, this has also boosted the chance of Federal Reserve cutting interest rate next week to try and boost the economic growth. We also saw that losses began after International Energy Agency said in its monthly report that the world oil supply would rise more rapidly than the expected this year due to planned output increases by OPEC+. Gold prices have risen on Friday by nearly 18 to 20 odd dollars in international market, and it's headed for its 4th weekly gain as fears of weakening US labor market eclipse the inflation concerns ahead of expected Federal Reserve rate cut. We have seen bullion gaining 1.4 to 1.7% so far this week. The prices are hovering close to $3,700 an ounce. And let me remind you, it is this week that we saw COMEX gold hitting a record high of $3,715 an ounce, while in domestic markets we saw a record high coming very close to 1,10,000 for 10 grams recently. Silver prices are where you need to keep your eye on, because in domestic markets it has surged to a record high very close to 1,30,000 rupees for 1 kg, while in international market it surged above $42 per ounce, which happens to be a new 14-year high.